Welcome to Video Rental, your retro movie hub. Join us as we rewind through the iconic films of the 70s, 80s, and 90s gems. From cult classics to blockbuster hits and even some infamous flops. We're covering it all. So grab some popcorn, get cozy, and let's dive into the wonderful world of retro cinema together. Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up? Good morning.
All right. So today, on today's episode, we're going to be covering Back to the Future 2, 1989.
Dose.
Derrick, so, we're doing the whole trilogy here. So when did you think you saw part 2?
I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm pretty sure that I caught this on one of those all-day rerun marathons of Back to the Future trilogy,
Like USA
TBS,
on
cable TV.
Yeah.
And I want to say, if my memory's right, I saw the first one first, and then I saw the third one, and then I saw the second one. So I saw them out of order. Granted, I was a kid. But the second movie always seemed to, as a kid, I always liked the second one better.
I was the same way.
Simply because of the way that it pictured the future.
Yes. I was the same way.
But I think that's changed now today as an older person. But yeah, it was definitely on syndication, and it was I can't pinpoint an exact year or day, but
I almost feel like since you saw it in that kind of order, I almost feel like you saw the third one and you're like, well, that's over, and then you find out there's another one. There's part 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
all right.
I mean, as a kid, like I knew, like okay, there's a second one in there, but going back to that era, like if the only way you were going to see it was on TV, and if you had to catch it when it aired, there was no DVR unless somebody had a VHS of it, but obviously I didn't, so I had to just wait a few hours until the next one came on or whenever.
Yeah, that's the I guess you could call it luxury. How we had to deal with things back then is
nothing on demand, nothing streaming.
If there was a movie in theaters, you had to wait at least a year before it would be out on VHS, and maybe even 2 years before it would be on TV.
Yeah.
So, Doug, how about you?
I was thinking the same things. I knew you were going to ask me. I did not see this one in theaters. Mm-hmm. It was, I'm pretty sure this was a rental.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this one was a rental. I don't remember the exact. I know I got it in, I probably got this one at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And I watched it at home. I didn't see it in the theaters, but it was probably, I'd say it was probably a few years after the first one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I mentioned when we did the first one, I probably saw all of these movies around the same time. I mean, within the early to mid '90s. Probably like Derrick. Probably I either we went and rented it, or even just saw it on TV. Just saw the whole thing. I mean, I wasn't alive. I was 4 years old? No, 3 years old when this one came out. I wasn't alive with the first one. So
I actually think when I rented this one, that's when I realized there was a third one. So it had been out long enough for the third one to hit.
Yeah. Because third one 90? Third one came out in 90?
Yeah, it came out pretty fast.
Yeah. Probably, I bet you, it wouldn't surprise me if it was like just a year later for the third one.
It was.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they filmed 2 and 3 together.
Yeah.
Concurrently, and then they kind of did Lord of the Rings style before
Lord of the Rings.
Way before. They filmed second and third together.
Yeah.
They were just printing money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So I'm going to read the plot of the movie. This one's just a little different than the first one. So after visiting 2015, Marty McFly must repeat his visit to 1955 to prevent disastrous changes to 1985 without interfering with his first trip. Pretty, basic. I mean, I looked it up several times to see, is that Is that right? It just seems very basic because it's like after visiting 2015.
Yeah,
That's it.
after he saw it.
Yeah. But Derek, do you want to read us some vitals on the movie?
Of course. Yeah, let's do some fun facts here. The release date, November 22nd, 1989. And, yeah, that would have been a Thanksgiving release. Speaking of 1989, that was a banner year for big movies. Let me just run you down here, memory lane.
1 second, Derek, because I think I feel like I've said this in the past. It seems like it's every like 3 to 4 years. Back then, it was just like major hits.
Yeah,
like nonstop.
Of course, we know the top grossing movie that year was Batman, 1989. Tim Burton, Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, Batman, which is always going to be my favorite Batman because that's the Batman that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Can't wait to review that movie one day.
It's on the list.
Also coming out in 1989, the number 2 highest grossing movie that year was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is wow.
Personal favorite right there.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say it's a personal favorite.
It's an amazing way to end the series, but then they don't end the series.
Yeah.
Also coming out in 1989 was Lethal Weapon 2.
Wow.
Yeah. Look Who's Talking. Man, we need to do this one day. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was 1989.
Wow.
It's been forever since I've seen the first one.
My kids love that movie.
They're great. They're great kids.
It holds up.
Yeah.
Because they did so much of it practical.
Yeah, they built that giant ant. I mean, it was huge.
So you can understand why they wanted to clock Back to the Future 2 ahead on the schedule to November because they're dealing with Batman and Indiana Jones in the summer. You don't want to line up against those two.
Derek, what were you, 5 in 89?
Yeah.
You imagine being 5 in 89, seeing all these kids I mean, they're all kids movies for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean,
major.
This lineup for 1989 is
that's geared for you to.
People were eating good. I mean, people were eating so good they didn't even know. Of course, also 1989 was the release of Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah. Oh.
So it's crazy to think. These were all. I know. Dead Poets Society also came out that year. I'm not a huge fan of the romantic comedy, but When Harry Met Sally, that was a pretty big movie that year.
It was a hit. Yeah.
The Little Mermaid.
that came out.
Favorite.
I thought that was so much older.
1989.
Oh,
yeah. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh,
classic.
Favorite. That's my favorite one. Favorite vacation.
Also 1989, Turner and Hooch.
Yeah, that's good.
And Uncle Buck.
Nice.
We're gonna have to do Uncle Buck. We're gonna have to. It's on the list.
Fields of Dreams also came out in 1989.
Good one.
So what an unbelievable year to be going to the movie. Gosh, to have a time machine and go back.
I mean, just think about it. Like you and your dad going to see movies in 1989. Like there's enough for him to
for $3.
Yeah, to have enjoyment, and then also
For
there's
matinee.
enough for you for an enjoyment too.
Yeah.
So
Good old days of a $3 match.
You could go buy a ticket, get a Coke and a popcorn under $10.
Yeah,
you were
That's
good.
no joke.
Derek, speaking of theaters, did you ever go to that theater that was at this was after before the outlet mall, but before Biltmore closed, Biltmore Square Mall.
Yeah.
The theater, it was like was it a $1 or $2 theater, but then you could buy food. Do you remember that? It was
Cinnabar.
Was it Cinnabar?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the worst mistake they ever made at that mall, was closing that theater down. Can you imagine the business they would be getting with this outlet mall?
Yeah.
People go shopping, then go see a movie. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, the draw of that place was, you paid $3 or $4 for a ticket. But then you got there and you ordered food, like it was legit food, like wings, pizza, burgers.
Yeah.
I remember the wings were
That's
great.
where they made their money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they had it had a tie-in with brewery and all that. So.
Yeah. They had little tables in front of you, so you could actually sit there and eat a meal while you're watching a movie.
And if I remember, at Cinnabar, they didn't get brand new releases. Like they got movies that had been out for a while.
Yeah. They were
still new movies, but they were on maybe like the tail end. Like they had left the major theaters, or they were the tail end of it.
It was right before they were going to go, not VHS.
It was in that
DVD or
between
it was like it was in the dead space.
Yeah, it was. This was before everything going straight to digital now. So everything was about to come out on. Stores probably had it in their back room to.
Waiting to set it out.
Yeah, waiting to set it out. I loved it.
Suncoast Video yet?
I love that. Did you just say Suncoast Video?
Yeah.
Oh man, that just brought back a ton of memories.
Overpriced.
It was overpriced, but it was almost like one of those candy stores you go to. Just like you're like looking at everything. It was
$30 for a VHS.
Yeah, I know. So I'll get it later at Kmart.
Yeah. November 22nd, 1989. Had I been the appropriate age in 1989, I would have been there, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
IMDb score of 7.8. Tomato meter score of critics 63%. Audience
too low.
86%. Yeah. I'd say both the IMDb and the critic score are low, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
A little tip of the hat there to my final review. But I would say that when you look at the trilogy, the Back to the Future trilogy, the second movie is kind of divisive when you talk about final scores. There are people in both camps who, one extreme or one camp says, it's not as good as the first one. It's good, but it's not as good. And then there's others who are like, no, the second movie is my favorite out of all three. I don't know anybody who's ever said the third one was their favorite, but anyway,
well,
we can talk about all that ranking later.
It's funny you say that because that Bad Movies Rule podcast we listened to, the host, I think he says it goes 1, 3, 2 for him.
Really?
Yeah, because he just loves 3 because it's a basically a completely different story, and they go to the old.
I could go with that. I could go with 1, 3, 2. But I think as a kid though, if you're viewing this through kid eyes. Mm-hmm. 2 is awesome for you, but simply, like I said at the beginning, because of you get 2 versions of the future. Mm-hmm. You get the awesome technological version of Hill Valley, the hoverboard version, and then you get the dystopian version of Hill Valley.
Biff's version.
Yeah. So, I think as a kid, though, that's what draws you in. So, budget of $40 million, significantly higher than the first one.
That's like more than double, I feel.
Yeah. And of course, if you go back and remember how much money they made on that first one, it was kind of a no-brainer that they were going to make a sequel to it. They just had to have time to write the script and get everybody back. Box office come in over $332 million. It's a pretty good bank in 1989. Mm-hmm. It's a tight running movie, an hour and 48 minutes.
Yep. I don't think it feels like that either.
No, it doesn't.
I think everything goes pretty quick.
The pacing is a lot like the first one. It clips along. There's no dead space. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's more comedy.
Yeah,
in this one, and I feel like there's even more action in this one.
Well, and I feel like it actually, I feel like the pace is even quicker than the first one because in the first one he's got so many days until the lightning strike.
Oh, you like start out in the DeLorean, off the bat,
and in this one they're just kind of taking their time, seeing what the future looks like and all that stuff. But then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom! Oh, they got to fix the past and fix the future and all that stuff. And,
I wonder how they figured the budget on this being until they filmed them sequentially.
Well, this one was filmed 5 years later. So things, 5 years
between
later.
2 and 3, like they filmed 2 and 3 together.
They probably literally I know they filmed them together, but they, since 2 and 3 are so different location wise.
Yeah.
Because they still filmed this at Universal Studios and all that stuff, and so that's probably how they figured it up. They filmed part 2 first, and they're like, all right, let's go ahead and get started on 3, and now let's figure the budget for 3. So, I don't know. That's just my guess. I'm not an expert here.
Okay, moving on. It is rated PG and will be considered family friendly. The movie was nominated for 1 Oscar for Best Visual Effects. And as we've already said in the first movie review, we feel like a lot of the effects still hold up today.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the practical side of things. Computer generated anything was a novelty at this time. So they had to rely on good old-fashioned movie magic to make it happen. The tagline of the movie, "Getting Back," was only the beginning.
I think it's a great tagline.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. The cast, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time rehashing the cast. If you want to get more detail about that, you can go back and listen to the first review. But we're just going to run through the names very quickly. Of course, you've got Michael J. Fox reprising his role as Marty McFly. Christopher Lloyd coming back as Doc Brown. Leah Thompson also reprising her role as the mom. Tom Wilson coming back as well to play old Biff. Jeffrey Weissman. James Tolkien. Of note, who is not returning, which we may have mentioned this in the first review, and that's Crispin Glover.
Yeah.
Not returning for his role as Mr. McFly.
Dispute over salary, and then
Felt like he wasn't being paid enough.
Yeah.
Same old.
Yeah.
And, of course, Claudia Wells being replaced in this movie by Doug's heartthrob back in the day, Miss Elizabeth Shue.
Please call me.
He's still waiting. And, of course, Elizabeth Shue, you remember her from The Karate Kid. Adventures in Babysitting, Cocktail, Leaving Las Vegas, The Saint, City of Angels, Hollow Man. Wow, that was a bad one. You guys remember Hollow Man?
Good old Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Wow, I hadn't thought about that in a long time until I just read it. Greyhound, The Boys, and Cobra Kai, which is the Netflix reboot of The Karate Kid.
Yep.
So Elizabeth Shue is replacing Claudia Wells.
I have to say, she actually did, especially that first scene. You know, they had to basically reshoot that first scene because of her. She did a really good job of like just fitting right in. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah. It was a good casting. I mean, you just had to tease her hair out a little bit.
I think they put a wig on her.
You think it was a wig?
Yeah, it was a wig. Yeah.
So what was the deal with? Does anybody know about Claudia Wells not coming?
If I read right, or if I remember right, Claudia Wells, I think her mom died.
Yeah, it was
right when they were about to film part 2, and she wasn't able to come back. And it kind of, I feel kind of bad for her because it kind of, her career really didn't go anywhere after Back to the Future. I mean, she did a little bit of like soap opera and a little bit of TV, but she is still big at the cons. Like she goes to all the cons where there's Back to the Future cast, and everybody, she still looks the same. Same. I mean, but yeah, I think that was the big thing. Her mom died.
Screenplay, once again, Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale. And the producers, Bob Gale, Kathleen Kennedy, who has just this week left Lucasfilm. Saw that. Frank Marshall, and of course, produced by Steven Spielberg.
I still didn't get a trigger button. Man.
No. I could sniff that one out. You were wanting me to get all irate. But I do know, as an aside, they have announced a couple of new Star Wars movies. Yeah, and I know one is coming out, the Grogu and Mandalorian, and then there's a Starfighter movie.
Yeah, it's
They say that Tom Cruise showed up on the set and
he filmed a
lightsaber duel. So,
well, apparently Spielberg did too. I was reading, he came and filmed a couple scenes as well.
Yeah,
apparently. So there's just like all these big directors coming in to film, and I don't know. I just. At the moment, until I see a trailer, I'm not even caring about the Mandalorian Grogu. I don't honestly.
It's just not very hyped up. At all.
I don't know.
It's sad to say, and we've had this discussion among ourselves. I don't know if we've done little snippets on the podcast, but at this point in time, Star Wars is pretty much dead in a lot of ways.
I wouldn't say it's as dead as Star Trek, Preston, but it's getting close. Like I feel like Star Trek at the moment, Star Wars.
Did Preston just knock at the front?
I feel like they're nose to nose at the moment when it becoming alive, because they're both at the bottom right now. I feel like.
Yeah, but let's not go into all that, the reasons why. But it is sad. It is very sad when you have Star Wars movies coming down the pipeline and no one cares.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Well, and especially as I'm a huge Star Wars fan, I
Yeah.
just don't really. I'm like, I'll go back and watch the old stuff, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Music for the movie again reprised his role as composer Alan Silvestri.
Mm-hmm.
Filming locations: Griffith Park, Whittier, City of Industry, South Pasadena, Los Angeles, and of course Universal Studios, California.
Derrick, I will say Griffith Park is the tunnel. The tunnel that that's Griffith, and we've drove through it. It's awesome. I just saw it and I was like, oh, that's awesome. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they do an expanded scene there.
Movies is filmed there.
We're talking about the scene with in the driving scene with Biff in the car
and the hoverboard.
The hoverboard trying to get the almanac back. Yeah,
yeah, because just one second. That Griffith Park is, you take that tunnel to get to their giant observatory. The observatory is on top of a mountain.
Yeah,
and it's this massive place, and it's a really awesome place. But yeah, you got to go through that tunnel just to get to it.
Very cool. Production company, of course, Universal Studios and Amblin Entertainment. Movie is directed by Robert Zemeckis. Mm-hmm. We all know his great resume from last time. And then let's talk about trivia, shall we? Trivia. As we mentioned earlier, the film was also shot at the same time with Back to the Future Part 3, which would come out a year later in 1990. And it was claimed at the time that in the 4 years since Back to the Future was made, 1985, that Michael J. Fox had forgotten how to ride a skateboard. However, motor skills are not so easily lost, such as in riding a bike. We all call that muscle memory. And Michael J. Fox
fall on my face now.
And Michael J. Fox had since stated that since this was an early symptom of his Parkinson's disease, looking back, although the medical diagnosis was not made until 1991, those were shades of it already showing itself. Crispin Glover, mentioned him a little bit earlier, sued the filmmakers as he had not granted permission to use his likeness in the film. He ended up dropping the lawsuit after the case was settled out of court for a sum of $765,000 by Universal's insurance company, who decided it would be cheaper to pay Glover than to go to trial, of course. So a lot of these things get handled. The Screen Actors Guild subsequently introduced new rules about illicit use of actors. And, you know, the controversy there with him, when you get to that family scene of the McFly home, if you'll notice, they take the replacement for Crispin Glover and they turn him upside down. Remember that? And because of his back, so you don't really see the face.
Well, even
it was kind of an ingenious
way.
It was
an ingenious way to get around it. Yeah.
Well, and the one from the 1955 one, the same guy that got to play that part. They put prosthetics on his face to make him look. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the behind the scenes, but he's got like a prosthetic chin and a nose and just, here and there to make him, because you only see him in the background for like 1 second.
Yeah.
But and it's kind of blurry, and it does look just like Crispin Glover, but they had to put prosthetics on his face. So, well, and also because he didn't reprise his role, from what I heard, they actually had to basically rewrite part 2. They had a script, and they were going to bring him back, but since he didn't reprise his role, they actually had to rewrite like half the script or something like that, from what I heard, because they couldn't get him, so they didn't want to recast him basically.
Yeah,
but they had to rewrite a lot of the script.
They must have a lot bigger part for him.
Maybe.
Sweet. So, thirdly, this movie was the most advanced film of the time, using, quote, every trick in the book, according to Rob Zemeckis. It was in the late 1980s when the concept of CGI was starting up. However, in the film, very few CGI effects were actually needed. If I'm thinking through this movie, the only one that really comes to mind of CG is Jaws.
Yeah.
Jaws coming off of the movie theater roof to come down and bite Marty.
It was just such a...
Yeah. It's not great CG. It's supposed to be like a hologram.
It still scared him.
Well, and you didn't really know any better in
1989.
So
Yeah.
you hadn't seen T-1000 yet, so
Let me throw in one piece of trivia here that's probably one of my favorites, and that is the Nike Air Mags.
oh yeah,
The shoes, those
self-lacing.
There's a ton of product placement tie-ins in this movie, and Nike got in on this. And I don't know if you guys realize it, but those shoes, those Nike Air Mags, Nike released a limited run of those shoes.
Wasn't it for like the 20th anniversary
yeah.
or something?
I think it was in like
And they really
2011
didn't
or
they tighten up?
2016.
The super expensive ones, from what I heard, actually self-laced, but then they also made a slightly cheaper version.
Yes. So, the original screen accurate versions, the self-lacing ones, I've gone and looked up, and you can go on like StockX, which is a website that does dead stock shoes. Mm-hmm. It's huge for sneakerheads and collectors. $161,572 is what a pair of those go today on StockX. So, the other versions, if you go on eBay, you're talking $20K.
Yeah,
in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, those shoes are iconic, and if they could ever get a cheaper version of them, it would be really sweet. You'd probably
I will tell
see
you
a
there
lot
is a
more of
cheaper
them.
version. It's like a Halloween costume version, like you can buy through like Spirit Halloween or whatever. they do actually look good, but they're like you'll still spend like $300 on them.
Yeah.
They look just like that, but they I think they light up, and that's the only thing they do, of course.
So you can go on YouTube, and there's all kinds of unboxing videos that people have done where they bought one version or the other of them, and then show them self-lacing and all that. But
yeah.
Anyway, I think that's a cool piece of trivia.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little piece of Back to the Future pop culture that's
genius of Nike
still with us
on that.
today. But we'll talk more about the product placement later on. Hopefully, there's a ton of it in this
So
movie.
much. It's so funny, and if you think about it now, there was so much in the first one, there's so much in the second one, and then there's next to nothing in the third one because it's all in the West.
Exactly.
On the West,
I mean,
yeah.
you see his Nike shoes, Nikkei,
Yeah.
but other than that, you don't really see anything.
Yeah,
Got anything else for us, Derek?
I think that's pretty much it from my standpoint.
All right, Doug, you want to do us a favor and read us some reviews?
I don't know how much of a favor it'll be, but hey, I'll read it.
Well,
for
we'll
you.
find out.
Right. Let's see what people tend to think of this movie. This is from December 29th, 2020. So, they were bored at this point writing reviews online because you couldn't go out of the house. 4 out of 10. Weird. And a cringe to watch. BTTF is a weird franchise. All movies are very immature and embarrassing to watch. This film uses its story to travel back in time and redo all the events from the first movie to fix the mistakes. But it really could have been done much better. There aren't many interactions to the scene from the first film.
I don't agree with any of that at all. They don't. That is not the purpose of part 2. They do not. They're not going back to fix the mistakes from the first one.
Yeah.
They're fixing the mistakes that Biff caused in this one.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that anything at all.
I think they misunderstood the premise of the movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Let's see what this got. The Little Songbird. Aww. April 15th, 2010. 8 out of 10. Very good sequel. Not as good as the first, but definitely worth the look. I loved the first Back to the Future. It was fun, original, and simply irresistible. Oh, I see what you did there. Back to the Future 2 is a very good sequel. While considering the darkest of the three, it is still quite bright in tone. It isn't as good as the first film, though, moving a little too fast and a little too much crammed in, such as past, future, and alternative universes idea. Still, it is enjoyable with the acting from Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd as zany and likable as ever before, and the special effects even better than the first film. That was a hard feat. The script is clever and fun, the direction is excellent, and the sets are highly imaginative. Plus, the score is great. Overall, a slightly inferior but very enjoyable sequel.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah. Well written.
Yeah. Thought out.
Here you go, Derek.
Oh boy. Trigger warning coming up, right?
This is from June 5th, 2022.
This is short but sour.
1 out of 10. Get rid of Biff.
What?
Oh my gee. Horrible movie. I wonder what the writers were smoking. They could have stopped with the original classic. I cannot tell you how stupid this movie was. It was fast forward through Biff parts, which is most of the movie. Warning, do not waste your time. Wow, okay.
Man.
I know, right? Oh, this guy from 1998. So, fresh.
That's when the internet was just coming around, I feel like.
Yeah, this guy's probably one of the first persons to write a review on this. Dutchie. It's probably a throwback to Predator, I'd say there. When 10 out of 10, complicated but brilliant. When I left the theater after... Oh, you got to see it in the theater. When I left the theater after watching Back to the Future 2, I was like, this one was even better than the original. Part 1 was my favorite of all time, but I like Part 2 even better. The plot is complicated but brilliant, and everything is in line with everything else. People often say it doesn't have the charm that the original has. Well, in my opinion, it has even more. It does have the charm, and Part 2 goes into the past and the future, which shows Earth as it could be within 30 years. Of course, an exaggerated world, but you can still see today's world in it only 30 years later. That's what I really liked about Part 2. This is my number one movie of all time. Wow.
Whoa.
Nice. Thank you.
One of the few reviews, like I mentioned, where you have somebody that says the second one is
better. Yeah.
Well, and you got to also think, how old was this person when it came out? He could have been like 10 years old he could have been 20 years old when he was writing this.
Oh, yeah.
And he could have been 10 years old, when that movie came out. So that's like perfect age to go see that movie and stuff.
We got one from Mr. Ebert. Let's see what Mr. Ebert thought of this. Back to the Future 2 is a goofy time travel adventure that's fun despite its complexity. Marty McFly and Doc Brown try to fix a future gone wrong after Biff Tannen steals a sports almanac and alters a timeline. The film's zaniness and screwball jokes entertain, but it lacks the heart of the original. Christopher Lloyd's Doc Brown tries to figure out what's happening as he flies through time, but the story's complexity is its own biggest challenge. 3 out of 4 stars. I don't think the movie's so complicated as people.
I don't think so.
It's not like you're watching a Christopher Nolan movie.
No, not at all.
Could you imagine what these people would say about Tenet or something like that?
Can you imagine Christopher Nolan, like if he would have been directing
they give him the Back to the He already does time travel or time element in almost all of his movies anyway. So
or like this would have been his first movies to do. I mean,
dude,
can you imagine how
you would need a syllabus to go through that.
All right, thanks, Doug. some people were absolutely wrong, and some people were pretty spot on, I'd say.
Yeah.
All right. Scene 1. Doc returns from the future, warning Marty and Jennifer to act on their kids. They travel to the future where Doc makes Marty look like his future son. Marty refuses Griff's offer, leading to a chase. Marty buys a sports almanac, which Doc throws away. The cops take Jennifer home.
Yeah, so it's a lot that happens in there.
Okay, let me say this before we start. This was another one. This was another
Tough.
like part one struggle for me to write scenes because there was so much happening in every scene. But
So this movie starts off with completely no introduction at all. You are assuming that your audience has seen the first one. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because you start off, boom, right there in the driveway.
Opens the door to the truck.
Yeah.
Marty does, and that's like pretty much where the first one ended.
Right. Now, if I remember correctly, going way back and watching some of the special features where the directors talk about their biggest mistake, and that was at the end of the first one, was putting Jennifer in the car.
Yeah.
Because that created all kinds of problems for them to try and work around when they went to make the sequel, because they've got to figure out, what are we going to do with her?
Yeah. Like Marty knows about time traveling. She has no idea about it. So now we got to figure out, well, we're taking her into the future now.
Yeah.
What do we do?
What do we do with her? Instead of 2 people, you have 3 people that could mess up things.
Doc is slowly messing with time again.
Yeah.
Now one other person knows about a time machine.
Well,
So the movie, in that first, 5 minutes, you're introduced to the plot, which is that they have to come into the future to save their kids. So it's almost like it's just a subtle twist on the plot of the first one, where they have to go back to fix the parents. Now they have to go forward to fix the kids.
Right. I do love that.
they were about to get arrested.
I do love the fact that Doc has upgraded the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Mr.
And you
Fusion.
see shades of that at the end of the first one. Mr. Fusion being the biggest one.
Yeah. And it's so amazing now that he doesn't have to rely on
They just took
nuclear
the whole
power now.
whole plutonium thing out of it.
That was a brilliant stroke that they landed upon, and basically we got to figure out a way
Yeah.
that we can evolve the DeLorean so that you don't have the problem of finding nuclear power.
Yeah.
Because that was a big problem
to
to solve.
the one thing I've always especially when I'm going back and watching all these movies, I wonder if when he went into the future, I know he's not supposed to be messing with time. He's always said that, but he rewrote his own time. But I wonder if he went into the future and talked to himself, and he got the idea from himself that he fixed the problem of the needing nuclear fusion.
Oh yeah, it's like, here's this little upgrade.
Yeah, here's a Mr. Fusion to upgrade the old time machine.
It's like a garbage disposal stuff.
Yeah, I love that they could literally. They still need gasoline, of course, and we'll find that out, especially in the next one.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that they just need some garbage to power the flux capacitor.
They can have a fix for nuclear power, but they can't fix the combustion engine.
Oh,
Don't
Doug,
use
you're
gasoline.
thinking too hard.
Hold that thought, Doug.
One thing that we need to keep a running tally of as we go through this review, and I've seen articles about this, which is, what did Back to the Future get right about the future, and what did it get wrong about the future? Because it has a very hopeful, technological, fun take on the future.
Yeah.
And some of it was accurate.
Yeah.
And some of it is just kind of zany and way off. Of course, Mr. Fusion is, we're not there yet.
No.
Well, one thing I'll point out is the shop the antique shop he goes to, all 80s stuff is very nostalgic.
Oh yeah, which
that's
we're living in right now.
That's a huge thing today.
Yeah.
Everything is, everybody remembers the past, and they're wanting the past to come back.
That was like one of my favorite. Spoiler: that's one of my favorite scenes when he goes into the '80s cafe.
Yeah,
and it's got like the Max Headroom version playing on the background, but it has all the different icons of the '80s.
Yeah,
as Max Headroom.
Let's talk about that. So when they go into the future, flying cars. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, you can watch the internet videos. There are flying cars, but it's not. Those are like prototypes, or
there's no thrusters.
Obviously, that's way wrong about the future. But then they get into Hill Valley, and you see a future version.
Yeah,
of Hill Valley.
And there's the antique store, and the movie theater.
Well, speaking of the movie theater, that's another thing that they continuously do today is make sequels of
Jaws 19.
Jaws 19.
They just keep
Jaws
on
19 3D.
So there is one thing that I noticed this last watch about that Jaws 19. This was the tagline on the at the theater.
This time it's really, really personal.
And I think it actually said that I didn't take a screenshot of that, but it's actually it says directed by, let's say, James Spielberg.
Oh, really?
Jr. And I think Spielberg's son is his name's James.
So Marty has a great quote after that. The shark still looks fake.
Yeah. Fake. Well, and another picture I took while I was watching this in the Cafe 80s. I thought this was really cool. The Pac-Man machine,
priceless artifact. Do not touch. Yeah.
I just paused and I was just looking at everying on the wall.
And he goes
tabletop.
One of the kids says something like about the video game. You have to use your hands.
Well,
which I mean that's okay. So they got that correct. The
Elijah Wood
reality,
yeah.
A young Elijah Wood was right.
That's right. Yes,
yeah,
a young Elijah Wood who would go on to Lord of the Rings.
Deep cut.
10 years later? I guess 12 years later for Lord of the Rings, right?
2001.
Yeah. So, he said that was his first movie that he ever did.
Really?
You know, you think about it now. What did as they get to the future? Okay, they talk about. They decide to knock her out. They give her like a tranquilizer. Mm-hmm. They forget, what we're going to do is put her to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so... And then that's when they get the iconic part where he starts handing Marty the clothes of the future.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's where the Nike Air Mags are at.
Yeah.
Oh, power laces.
Well, another thing from the that they predicted was the weather. Like because the Weather Channel, there was no such thing as Weather Channel back then, but now we can look up what the future weather is going to be like and everything. Yeah. And did you notice where they put
times it? He says, the rain will be ending in now. Yeah,
and it shuts off.
He's like, too bad the Postal Service is not as effective as this. Did you notice what they put Jennifer on was like old, like they recycled CDs?
Yeah,
it was like CDs and laser discs.
Yeah.
I guess because they don't use any of that stuff anymore. Yeah. So, another thing I noticed was the Pepsi. Was it Pepsi Perfect?
Yeah,
yeah.
Different Pepsi bottle.
Going back to what you were saying about the shoes, that they've made in real life. Well, they for the 20th anniversary, you could buy the Pepsi Perfect in that bottle, but now you're gonna spend $150 for one of those. I mean, I would love to just have one sitting displaying, but I'm not spending $150 for a Pepsi.
It's a wild looking bottle.
And I did find out it doesn't twist. If you notice, he was trying to twist it off. There's a little tab that pops up. And I noticed the only reason I noticed that was because when Doc was getting fuel in the future, there he was pouring it out. Like when whatever part he needed fuel, he was pouring it out from one of those Pepsi Perfect bottles. That's the only reason I noticed that.
So yeah, the 80s cafe takes the place of the cafe in the 50s.
Yeah,
and they walk in there and it's total nostalgia today. It's funny watching this movie today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
when you realize how much, like you said, 80s technology is sort of it's a niche thing. People love collecting VHS and Walkmans and cassettes, and all this stuff is coming back.
And they also had I don't know if you noticed this there, but in the window they had the Jaws games. Like, what was it? Was it Atari or was it Nintendo? They had
an
in the
NES
box.
version.
Yeah, they had them in the box sitting in the window beside the almanac.
So in the almanac, that's where a major problem of the plot is introduced, right? So Marty gets this harebrained idea of, the almanac having value to be able, if you could take it back, he would know the results of all the games, because I think the almanac was good from 1950 to 2000 or something.
2001 or something. Yeah, something like that. Did you notice she also said this is it has a dust jacket on it before
they had dustless paper?
Yeah.
Because dust jackets were a big thing back then.
So that's his idea, is to buy that and then take it back with him.
Yeah.
So that
try to make some money.
He can make and that's a thing that, man, is huge now. Sports betting is tremendous. FanDuel and all of the apps and ways that people bet on sports now.
It was kind of illegal back then, right?
Which is
North Carolina.
North Carolina now.
No, North Carolina just made it legal.
Yeah.
FanDuel just came around last year.
Yeah,
they just made it legal to do sports betting like that. So, yeah.
Did you think it was? I thought it was kind of ironic that the way it was kind of a jab at the way they talk about parents see their kids. It's like all the kids now in the future wear all their clothes inside out.
Yeah.
He's like, just turn your pockets out, and he has to wear his hat inside out. I mean,
so when they go
idiots.
When they go to the 80s cafe, that's one thing. The Marty's son is really a doofus.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's really nothing likable about him at all.
No.
But you see that the same trope is being played over again, where there's bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Biff is now Griff.
And this was like with George McFly.
Exactly.
Biff was bullying him.
Yeah.
Did you notice I always thought was hilarious? They had what was it? Reagan versus what was the terrorist? The
video game. Was it?
Well, like when it would come up on he would want to order something, and it would have like Reagan pop up talking to him, and then it would have the terrorist coming in. I can't remember the terrorist.
Ayatollah.
Yeah.
It would come in to want to try to change his mind. Yeah. Say, no, you want to eat this, and no, you want to eat this, and I thought, because that's a very 80s thing with Reagan and all that stuff, and
that would be like a cool cafe today.
But if there was an 80s cafe today, it would be a big hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I think so.
They've got something kind of like that over in West Asheville, the Retrocade.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can go in and play the retro video games and order pizza, but it's not as broad in its appeal. It's
basically
video games. But if you did an 80s cafe today, that would be a big hit.
Yeah,
there's a lot less acrylic. What would you call that fabric that everybody wears? That shiny.
It's polyester.
Yeah. There wasn't as much of it in the future. They got that wrong.
Yeah, if you look at Doc's outfit, he's got the crazy glasses and the invisible tie.
Tie.
Like the clear plastic tie. And the
glasses, the big
the big glasses.
I mean, that's like macho man style right there.
Yeah.
So the one thing I thought was really cool is they introduced old Biff in the cafe. And he's like, Biff? And he thinks, he doesn't realize that's Marty. He thinks that's his son.
It's his son.
And then if you notice in the background, which I know you guys know, but if you notice in the background, you see Griff in his, I think he had a BMW. It was like a souped up BMW.
Yeah.
Landing, and then they do that cut in between the doors, and it's Griff, which is a young whatever his name is, and he pulls him out, and I thought it's the coolest cut because it's cut right there at the doorway, and then they just walks around and pulls him out. It's a really cool cut. It's amazing, these cuts, because I think this was like the first time they did certain cuts where it had multiple people playing multiple characters in it, and it looked so good. So that, this is kind of where Marty takes the place of his son, and then this is where
get the chase scene.
We get the chase scene.
Hoverboard.
Griff is a half cyborg or something. He has implants.
Batter up.
And this is where we first get introduced to the
hoverboard.
The hoverboard.
There you
turns
go.
out, I think it was like what did it say? It said like, did it say like Barbie on it or something? Because that's why it's pink, or it was some kind of brand on it. Other than saying hoverboard.
Mattel,
I think it was Mattel. This one doesn't say it. This one just says Back to the Future 2. But
because they took it from a little girl.
Yeah.
And she's like, she ends up getting Griff's board.
But was it?
I got a pit bull now.
Yeah.
So that scene where he's on the water, and the hoverboards don't work on water because you don't have power, and Griff uses his rocket powered hoverboard to pull his minions along, and that scene where he misses, and they go through the clock tower. Clock Tower Mall.
Yeah.
Go through the glass. People actually got injured there. The stunt doubles actually got injured pretty bad. And you can see them hitting. Like, they kept some of the footage in it, and you can see them hitting the ground pretty hard, and they got cut up from some of the glass, too.
So, speaking of injuries, my son, I introduced him to Indiana Jones recently, and he watched Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think it scared him in some parts, but...
I could understand that.
But anyway, we were watching the behind the scenes or special features on that, and I learned something in that I didn't know, and that was that Harrison Ford got injured in the fight scene with the Nazi at the airport
on the wing
where he's
fighting.
Where he's fighting the big German bald headed guy. One of the wheels of that plane rolled over on him, and he tore his ACL.
Ooh!
And so he had to finish the movie with a messed up ACL because they were in a foreign country.
Yeah,
there was no.
I hadn't heard that. I knew he was
get
sick.
That fixed there.
And everybody was sick.
Yeah, I knew he was sick on that one scene, but I didn't know he got.
They were in Tunisia.
Yeah,
and they actually filmed it in the same place where Star Wars the shot in Tatooine.
Well, and that look of
desert.
Look of pain in his face when he decides to just pull the pistol, that was like a real...
it was for real. Like he tore his ACL.
Well, no, I was going to say like when he had the food poisoning, because that's the reason they decided just to do the gunshot instead of him actually having... Because it was originally supposed to be an actual sword fight.
Oh, you're talking about in the market.
Yeah, in the market, and they decided to... Since
guy comes out just demonstrating...
Yeah. So...
Anyway, aside. But...
We'll do that one day.
So, the hoverboard, I remember watching the making of on this, and they did it with magnets.
Yeah.
They had a magnetic track.
Yeah.
That they used for the hoverboard.
You can see behind the scenes stuff. I mean, it's so funny because at first they were kind of just messing with people saying, "Oh, it's real. It's real. It's real." Like in that, I think it's in the behind the scenes stuff. They talk to Zemeckis and he says, "Yeah, it's real." And he's like, "Look," and it shows him like floating behind him and stuff. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. But he eventually said, we're just using magnets."
Yeah, which was very ingenious.
Yeah,
it was cool. So, I thought. This scene, if you're a fan of the first movie, this scene is a lot of fun for you.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're revisiting, well, it's weird in the sense that you're revisiting old places, but they're not old places now. They're new places. And the infusion of the Jetsons-like technology is, there's a lot of slapstick to that, and it's funny.
So what is this, 60 years later from the first one?
Yeah.
So a 60-year difference from the first one.
Yeah.
One last thing about that future scene. Did you notice the Goldie Wilson Jr.?
Yeah.
He was promoting the flying.
Yeah.
He was promoting the flying mechanism. He was promoting that flying mechanism that you could put on all the cars and stuff for $39.99.
Flight conversion.
Another thing here is again the Jennifer problem.
Yeah.
because she has to be taken.
They
the
knock
cops
her out.
discover her, and they look her up in the database, and they have to take her.
And they still use, I guess, because Doc explains it. It says that since everybody still has the same fingerprint, when you get older, that's how they identify her. And they're like,
they did get that right too. She's like, oh, she's had some work done. She looks good for her age.
Yeah, like, what is it? 47 years old. She looks amazing. She must have had some work done.
Yeah.
Now it don't work out. People quit having plastic surgery. You look horrible.
Well, Derrick, I know you have. This is just kind of off topic, but we're talking about Demi Moore. She looks terrible,
dude.
Now. Her face, because she's in that Landman.
She's in the Landman.
Oh, really?
And you could tell she's like had her face
unrecognizable,
stretched.
Yeah, kind of like Michael Jackson was the same way. I mean, how many surgeries did that guy have?
No telling,
dude.
No telling.
They put the injections and all that stuff.
Please down.
Jeez.
So this is where
age gracefully, like Doug.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Grace.
Let it go.
Sure, Grace. So this is where he drops that almanac, and Doc finds it, and he's like, "What is this?"
Oh yeah, he's
like, "There's nothing wrong with going back and making some bets for the future." And he's like, "Oh, this is not why I created the time machine," And so he
throws it in the trash.
Throws it away.
Yeah,
right that's on top of the trash can. And if he would have thrown it in the Mr. Fusion, it would have solved all the problems.
That's true.
But
we wouldn't have had
it's kind of like that scene from A New Hope. If the Empire would have just shot down the escape pod,
that's true.
That it all would have
been over
right there.
Yeah,
but
they would have conquered.
Yeah,
and that's when they show the old Griff. He's sitting there with his cane with the fist on it, and he says, "A flying DeLorean."
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those in.
Oh well, we didn't even mention because I guess we see it in the first one too. But the 85 I guess 85 Biff sees the DeLorean flying.
Yeah,
and he's like, "What the heck's going on?" Which it was a cool. I wonder if that was the same footage that they. From the first one, since they had to refilm Jennifer scenes, but so he was like, "Yeah, I haven't seen a flying DeLorean in 30 years,"
and it's like he puts it all together.
Yeah,
and that's when he goes and gets the almanac out of the trash. Causes a problem. He liberates the DeLorean for a moment.
Yeah,
we'll go to the next scene for that. You guys got anything else? You want to move on?
I'm good.
Okay, good. All right, so scene 2. Biff finds out that Doc built a time machine and grabs the sports almanac.
Oh, I see.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, it was a spot that I had to just like cut right there because there was so much happening. Jennifer awakens in her future home. Biff steals the time machine. Jennifer sees her future self and passes out. Biff returns with the time machine, breaks the head of his cane off, and they travel back to 1985.
Very good. So, Jennifer meets Jennifer.
Yeah.
That's kind of a funny little scene there.
Well, and not
faint again
before we see like what the future home looks like. Grapes coming down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
A TV that you can play 6 different or what is it, 8 different channels on or
one
something
time.
like that. Everything is automated. The what is dehydrated pizza?
Let's talk about that pizza machine. 'Cause that, as a kid, you see that and you're like, man, Pizza Hut at home,
a full on pizza in what 20 seconds or whatever it was. Oh, Mom, you really know how to dehydrate a pizza.
And you notice he's wearing the double tie.
Yeah, the double tie.
That's so weird.
You can try to pull that off on Sunday. Just
man.
That was so weird. Well, and I don't think it's just a tie. I think it's almost like a vest. If you really look at his outfit, it's the tie, and then it goes around his stomach as well. Like it's a full on.
Yeah.
And they're like mirror image of it. It's wild looking. It's wild looking.
Yeah. That is definitely one thing they did not. I'm glad.
Yeah. So a lot of it's funny and just like campy, but one thing they did get right is FaceTime.
Yeah.
So the boss, remember when he calls in?
Yeah. McFly!
Look at my facts.
McFly.
Facts, that's definitely one thing they did not get
And
right.
it goes
that's
in
funny.
every room. You
The
fired!
fact that they have a fax, how many fax machines they have? Like 10 of them?
Yeah.
I guess they thought fax machines would be a bigger thing.
It was even in the closet.
Yeah.
There was something else that's kind of funny, and the friend, the coworker that Marty McFly talks to is Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because,
You know?
no, he wasn't in the first one because I think they just have him in this one.
He's just in the second one, I think.
He's at the end of the third one when he comes back from the past.
Okay.
Yeah,
driving
he's
the
driving
truck.
up the truck. He wants to race.
That's
him.
right.
That's right. Yeah.
I was trying to think if he was in the first one, but they...
I don't know how in the world they got, or why they got Flea. Like, what's the connection? We have to look that up. What's the connection between Flea and Robert Zemeckis? Like, how?
They just must have been at the same party or
Yeah,
something.
how in the
Yeah.
world did he get a cameo in this movie?
I don't
It's
know.
funny though. I forget the name of the character that he plays, but he's the one that sort of puts Marty Needles. He's the one that puts him up to
Needles.
the bed or whatever.
Come on, what are you, chicken?
Chicken?
Nobody calls me chicken.
So, this is where, what I always thought was so funny is Marty's kid, Michael J. Fox played his kids as well. He played his daughter and his son.
Yeah.
Oh.
And think about it, that's kind of a really tricky shot where you got them all around the dinner
Three of
table.
them.
And it's Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. It's got strong genes.
They did a version of that later on in The Nutty Professor where they got Eddie Murphy to play all of his family members. Hercules!
Baby got a little gas.
Well, and this is where we see, Marty's parents come over, and this is where we see, George upside down.
Yeah.
And
The hairpiece flopping down.
Yeah.
well, did you notice that it wasn't like necessarily a third wall break, I guess you say, but when she was like, "How did he do that? How did he do that?" and she looked straight at the camera, it's almost kind of a nod of like, that's not, Crispin Glover.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like it was a little bit of nod to it,
Yeah.
but we see him floating in upside down, and
Dad threw his back out again.
hey, and another thing is, I guess the whole fingerprint thing, the doorway, is that a thing today? I feel like it's something.
There is biometrics, but I don't think it's took off. I mean,
I can lock my car with my thumbprint on my handle.
There you go.
and
There was a version of iPhones where it was thumb.
Yeah.
yeah, when they still had the home button.
Yeah.
But we've moved past that. Now it's all facial recognition.
Yeah, so
Spoiler future.
this movie definitely, predicted some things that actually
yeah.
came out true.
So let's talk about Biff
Yes.
taking the time machine.
Well, he gets in a cab and starts following him, and Doc freaks out for a second there. He was like, Marty's like, "What's wrong? I thought I saw a cab following us." I don't know. He kind of freaks out thinking he's being followed, which I don't even know how you could see somebody following you when you're flying like that.
Did he say it's like some kind of temporal? He tried
Temporal displacement.
temporal displacement sickness or something like that.
So let me say this. I didn't even mention this the first scene, but the whole highway in the sky, and then Doc gets mad because he looks at the news saying that there's a backup. It's going to be backed up. He's like, "It's going to take us forever to get to your old house because traffic's backed up."
Traffic's so bad,
And I'm like,
backs up in the sky. It's like 26 today.
it's like, I guess you would
I'm
get
to
a ticket
Asheville.
or something if
Ugh.
you're flying all over or whatever.
The sky's so crowded.
Oh, well, this is off topic, but did you guys hear that they proposed the toll again on 40?
No.
Because, they're expanding it eventually, and they said it between Waynesville and Asheville, apparently there's going to be a toll lane. They're
You know what that
proposing a
means?
toll
Everybody
lane.
be driving back roads from.
Well, people are going to be on Smoky Park. That's where they're going to go.
Oh man, that's not going to be good.
But anyways, so Biff, he follows them there, and as they're away from the DeLorean, because Marty gets distracted by that self-walking collar that's walking the dog.
Yeah.
So Biff steals the time machine, and we don't know at first what he does with it. We know he goes back in time, or whatever time, but
they don't really show him.
No,
it's
him back
implied.
Yeah, which was a great effect showing the DeLorean. You ever seen the behind the scenes how they actually do it? It's like, it's connected to this giant rig that picks up the car.
And give it up to old man Biff figuring out how to fly a time machine.
Yeah, that's one of the plot holes in the movie is how does this guy who knows nothing about time travel get in the DeLorean and fly?
80s or 90s?
Yeah.
That's a glaring plot hole problem.
Yeah.
But that's him being a villain.
Yeah.
Him being a villain. He knows how to do things. So he comes back, and Doc's got they're bringing Jennifer back to the car. Have you guys seen that deleted scene of when he comes back, him going over to the dumpster? They actually show him dying in a deleted scene. He's disappearing because he's changed the past. Biff. You ever seen that?
No.
It's a really cool scene. I guess they just didn't feel like they needed it.
Well, I wondered why he seemed so like he'd just been beat up when he was trying to get out of the cars. But it was he was erasing himself.
Yeah. It's a really cool scene. It's a little fuzzy because it's it's pre-production.
Yeah.
But it's just a cool scene. He just sits there as they take the DeLorean and fly away, and he just sits there and disappears. He just pretty much dies right there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool little scene. So they go back to 1985, and
so they find the cane, the broken piece.
Yeah.
Later on, that's how they know it's Biff.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
You guys want to move on to scene 3?
Yeah.
That's pretty much, like I said, that's where I had to kind of cut it. There was so much that happened in the first, I don't know, 30 minutes of the movie.
Traveling going on.
I mean, so much. Okay, so scene 3. At home, Marty discovers someone else lives there and realizes something's amiss in Hill Valley. He's knocked out and wakes up to find Mom married to Biff, now wealthy and owning the town. Marty learns his dad's dead, and Doc reveals they're in an alternate 1985 future, and Biff stole the time machine, altering the past.
Yeah, this is the dark second act of the movie, I guess, where you get the dystopian version of Hill Valley. What would happen if
it was really bad?
What would happen if Biff took over?
I think it's kind of hilarious.
A casino.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was so hilarious. I guess it kind of makes sense because this is his hometown, but it's so hilarious that he took over the town instead of becoming a millionaire somewhere else.
Right.
That tells you right there how obsessed he was with Marty's mom, Lorraine. I blocked there. Yeah, Lorraine, and obsessed with taking over this town.
In that town, he was somebody. So
I think it's funny with that.
Well, he thought he was
when Marty initially goes back, or when he goes to the future, or no. He goes back to dystopian 1985. Okay. He runs into Principal Strickland.
Yeah.
With the shotgun.
Because he picks up his newspaper.
Yeah.
And that's when he figures out he's in 1985.
Yeah.
And he's like, so you're the one that's stealing my newspaper. And
you're a slacker.
He's like, don't you recognize me, Strickland? He's like, well, I go to Hill Valley High, and he's like, the school burned down 6 years ago. I don't even know who you are. And that's when he points the shotgun at his crotch. Yeah. He's like, 1, 2, and then that's when some guys come out and do a drive-by and shoot the house up. Slackers!
So when you get to the casino, there's this funny little propaganda video that shows Biff's rise to power.
Well, Derrick, before that
goes all the way back from the 50s.
They play that amazing Van Halen song, "Can't Drive 55."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's such an awesome scene. They're playing that song, and he's just realizing how tore up everything is, and then that's when he sees the giant. And that's the clock tower.
Yeah.
if you look at it, you can see it's the clock tower that he took over.
On the clock.
Yeah, he literally, like, you could still see the outsides of the clock tower, and that's when he sees the historical video of Biff's life.
Yeah, that's funny the way it's shot and narrated.
Yeah.
It's just really funny.
Like he's a hero.
Yeah, well, and that does a critical thing. It explains a good piece, like, okay, what happened between old Biff going back, giving him the almanac, and now.
And that's when we're introduced to his great grandfather? What was the one in the West? What was his name?
Who? Marty's?
No, Biff's great.
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog. And they show
Mad Dog Tannen.
Yeah, Tannen. They show a picture of him like in that video. Yeah, so that was kind of like a little foreshadowing.
That lets you know that they kind of already had
a little bit of foreshadowing for the.
They had the plot worked out for the third movie, and they were teasing it.
He sees getting the key to the city or something, and he notices the almanac.
Yeah,
well, I think it's when he first wins the lottery. Like it's the first lottery that he wins, and he sees it in his jacket pocket.
Yeah,
the almanac.
It's like he took my idea. He's more upset that he took his idea.
So he gets knocked out by Biff's
security
gang. It's the same guys.
Same goons. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. It's funny.
He's got the same crew.
What is it? It's Billy Zane, isn't it? Is it Billy?
One of them is Billy Zane. Yeah.
So they brought him back,
who would later go on to be in Titanic.
Oh, I thought you were about to say
Phantom.
I was waiting to see which one he said. I was like, I always think of the horrible Phantom movie, but
I feel like that's one of Preston's favorite movies because I feel like he's mentioned it before.
The Phantom.
Billy
Zane.
Man,
we might get him in here if we do that.
Oh no, that might destroy the podcast. I don't know. So yeah, they knock him out, and this is where we kind of have a familiar scene from the first one. He wakes up and he hears his mom's voice in the dark, and he wakes up, and he's like, "Mom, you're so big."
Yeah, and she's had
augmentations. That's like the first thing comes into view here.
So much, and that's when she reveals that Biff busts in saying, "Your father's here," and he's like, "My father," and that's when Biff busts in, and he's this powerful tycoon, I guess you could say, and because he created Biffco.
Yeah,
Biffco.
And Lorraine's trying to leave him, and he's like, if you leave, I'm gonna cut off all your kids. I'm gonna cut off all your plastic surgery bills and stuff like that. She's like, all right, I'm gonna stay. And this is where we find out that he's like, where is George McFly? Where is my father? This is where we find out he's dead.
Mm-hmm. They go to the graveyard.
Go to the graveyard. Yeah. And he's like freaking out. He's like crying. He's freaking out. And this is where Doc, he's like, I knew where you would be, pretty much. And this is when they go back to his home that's destroyed, pretty much. I mean, there's garbage everywhere. And this is where we kind of, Doc reveals that what he found out, like what happened.
Yeah.
Picks up the chalkboard, does the timeline, and then does the alternate. So he said he finds Biff's cane, the top of his cane, in the car, so he knows Biff went back in time and changed the past somehow. And
that's when they put their heads together.
Yeah.
He figures out it was the almanac.
Yeah. So he's got to figure out. He's got to go to Biff. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
So they have to go back to the casino.
Yeah.
And somehow try and get him to open the safe so that he can get the.
Well, he has to figure out what year he went back to give it to him so they know where to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get him for information.
I think that's... You guys want to move on to scene 4? I think that's...
Sure.
Yeah. I think that's the start of scene 4.
Yeah. So scene 4, Marty learns from Biff when he got the sports almanac. They travel back to November 12th, 1955. Doc gives Marty money for a disguise to follow Biff. Marty hides in Biff's car to the dance. Strickland takes the almanac and follows him, finding a different book. Marty saves his past self from Biff's gang. So pretty much he learns from Biff where he took the almanac and changed the past.
And drum roll, November 12th, 1955, the same day time travel was created.
Well, and it's like Doc mentions that. He's like, that must be some kind of, I don't even remember how he puts it, but some kind of important time or
he mentions
important
that,
junction in the time.
in the time.
It's the exact language that he uses.
Yeah. So they go back. They hide behind the the Lion Estates sign
Again.
Yeah.
And I love that briefcase that he opens up, and he's got money from all
the different eras,
20 different timelines.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so. I thought that was so awesome back in the day, seeing all the different time periods of money and stuff. I mean,
one of the things that I love about this scene is, you're totally familiar with the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and they show you everything that transpired that night, but from a different angle.
Yes.
Which is really cool and painstaking when you think about it. They had to go back and recreate every single detail of that set. Actors, costumes, I mean, everything as close as they could.
And they splice in a little bit of footage from the first one, so that helps out a lot.
But they're shooting the same thing from the first movie, but from a different angle.
Yeah.
Because originally, Marty didn't see his dad knock out Biff.
Yeah.
But then this time, he's hiding around the corner and sees everything.
Yeah, and that's where you get that awesome quote. Hey, that guy just took his wallet. I love
like
that.
Three
He took his
times.
wallet. For some reason, I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is.
Well, okay, so before we get to the dance, this is where Marty follows Biff. He figures out where he lives. He figures out Biff is living with his grandmother, and he's being a jerk to those kids.
Leave me alone, Grandma.
So this is where we see a part that they didn't show in the first one, like you're saying. It's an alternate
He actually
scene.
hides in the garage, doesn't he?
Well, he hides in the garage, but we see what Biff had to go through to get his car cleaned out. He had to pay the $300 to get all that manure out.
Yeah.
This is where we see Marty jumps into his back of his car, and old Biff is in his car, and he's like, "Get the heck out of my car, old man!"
Yeah.
How'd you know? That's when he starts it, and it goes back to that same running joke. I'm the only one that knows how to start this car.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Just get in, butthead."
Yeah.
That's when he gives him the almanac.
Yeah, they pull into his
What is
garage.
implied in the beginning.
And see,
is
that's
now
another
revealed
cool
later.
scene.
And
of
what's
them.
he do with it? He tosses it
Yeah.
in the back seat.
What are you doing?
Marty almost has it, but he can't reveal himself
Yeah.
to old Biff because old Biff could just go back and then
Because he has to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's make like a tree and leave, you idiot. You sound like a fool when you say it wrong.
He totally corrects himself. That's funny.
Well, I mean, old Biff is a lot smarter than young Biff. So.
Apparently.
So that was another really cool scene where they had the same actor.
Yeah.
And you can thank that split in the windshield.
Tom Wilson,
yeah. Because it was really cool because when he throws the almanac, it goes over the line. So it's a really cool cut scene where they had the same actor doing two different scenes there. This was really, I mean, I thought everything looked great when they had two different.
Oh, yeah.
people,
yeah, I mean, they have to do all this in camera or practically.
Yeah.
There's no green screen here.
No. So he gives them the almanac, but so this is where he goes to the dance, and this is where we also see what Biff was up to at the dance before he went to Marty and Jennifer's car, or not Jennifer, Lorraine's car.
Yeah.
So we see them. He's looking for Calvin Klein, and
He's going to get him back for what he done to his car.
They spike the punch bowl.
yes. Strickland sees it, so they run outside, and this is where we see. This is a little. We see it, but nobody else really notices it. Strickland takes that almanac, and it turns out it has like a girly.
It's a ooh la la.
Ooh La La magazine in it because he used that dust jacket
cover.
Yeah, and so this is kind of like Marty has to go on like a little hunt now from Strickland.
And that's funny when he goes in his office. Because he's a drinker too.
when Marty was underneath his desk and he scoots back. And
crushes his hand.
Oh, it was so painful. Just like because Marty's not screaming, he's just like, oh, it's such a great scene. So Strickland leaves, but that's when we find out that it was the Ooh La La magazine, and he's like, Ooh La La, Ooh La La, and this is when he's telling Doc, he's like, I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. I've lost the almanac. And he's like, well, think where it would be at the moment. Think. He's like, I don't know. And this is where we see...
You've been there before. Where's Biff right now?
Yeah, this is where we seen George is dealing with Biff.
Yeah. The showdown.
The showdown.
Showdown.
And so that's when he runs out. He's like, I know where it's at. My old man's about to deck Biff. So that's when he runs out there. He does it. And that's another scene where you can see that double. They put prosthetics on the double for George McFly. I mean, you don't notice it if you didn't know about it.
Yeah.
But it's such a cool. I keep on hitting this microphone. It's such a cool. They pieced everything together.
Yeah.
So this is where he steals Biff's supposed wallet.
Yeah.
And he takes the almanac, and that's when he runs into Biff's men, his gang. And that's when he gets the little chase through the rafters, and his men are waiting on Marty now on stage.
Yeah.
So
that's an interesting scene because Marty is playing Johnny Be Good on the scene. He's up in the rafters.
Yeah.
They're trying to get him. It just adds a whole nother layer to it.
And he realizes if he doesn't...
He has to stop him so Marty can get back to travel back. So it's he's trying to stop another paradox.
Yeah, because that time might have exploded if they would have beat up old Marty, I guess you could say, original Marty.
So he gets to see the whole concert again.
And he's like, he starts like, not bad.
Not bad.
So he stops them and he walks out the door and he's sitting there watching when Marty is talking to Lorraine and Lorraine's like, thank you for everything. And he tells him, and then that's when Biff walks up and he's like, you cost me $300, you, whatever he says, butthead. And he's like, let's have it out now. And he's like, whatever, man. He starts to kind of walk away. And that's when he calls him chicken. And then he's like, nobody calls me, and then gets hit by himself in the face, opening the door. Yeah. And that's when Biff sees the almanac in his...
inside his jacket.
Okay, so we're not there yet. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Ahead?
Yeah, I skipped ahead. That's my fault.
No, that's okay.
All right. You guys got anything else you want to move on? Final scene?
Yeah, let's talk about the chase.
Okay. So final scene. Biff punches Marty, steals the almanac, and the chase begins. Marty retrieves the almanac, causing Biff to crash into a manure truck. It's like he's destined to crash into manure, as we see in the third one as well.
Yes.
Marty burns the almanac, restoring the future. Doc is struck by lightning while flying the DeLorean. Marty receives a letter from Doc from 1885 saying he's alive. Marty finds the 1955 Doc for help.
So
chase.
Yeah, the chase scene. So Biff recovers the almanac again, gets in his vehicle, and proceeds through the famous tunnel scene.
Doug, what kind of car was that?
It's a 48 Ford.
48 Ford. He actually says that in the movie. He's got 48 Ford. He tear us up like a tinfoil.
Yeah, I love that line because he's like, just land on him and crush him.
He's driving a 48 Ford. He drives through us like we were a tinfoil.
And I shouldn't say I love this, but I always find it so amazing how much Biff is willing to kill Marty.
Yeah,
like he is just like he's flat out. He's like, I'm gonna run him over. I'm gonna kick him off my car. He is just willing to kill somebody.
That's all he sees.
So that little whole Marty sneaking on the hoverboard, bless you, sneaking on the hoverboard, and I always find it so hilarious. He opened the door. Yeah. I don't know how Biff could not hear him opening that door of that big of a car. But
what's cool is as he's driving down the road, he turns on the radio and he's listening to the sports broadcast of the day.
Yeah, that's when he finds out.
Lost.
Yep, that's when he finds out it's real.
It's real. I think that's a pretty neat way to do it.
Yeah. So Marty gets the almanac after a little fight with him. Well, they're going down that the tunnel, and like I said, Biff's just willing to run him over to get that almanac back. No big deal. And then there was a little part earlier when Doc, when he was flying, he catches it's like a ribbon off the Lion's estates.
Yeah.
Those little flags on it. So, and that plays an important part later at the end of the movie. And he throws that down, and Marty gets it and pulls him up.
Yeah.
And like Biff is just like, oh, and it looks like a spaceship flying over.
Because all you see is the 4 lights where the wheels rotate down on it.
And then this is where he skids and crashes right into another manure truck. And he's like, manure! I hate manure! It's like, I'm serious. He is destined to be in manure. His great-grandfather or whatever he is in manure too. And it's hilarious. So they fly back to that Lion Estates, and he lets Marty off. But Doc's still flying, and he burns the almanac. And he pulls out that newspaper, and it says, what does it says? George McFly murdered.
Yeah. And
then it changes back to George McFly honored. And then Doc looks at his newspaper ad, instead of saying Emmett Brown committed, Emmett Brown honored, or whatever. Commended, yeah. So they realize they've changed or fixed the future. But then this is when the lightning storm starts happening. And it's probably the exact same time.
It's the exact lightning storm.
Yeah.
That hits
happens in the first
one, yeah.
Hits the light tower.
And he's like, all right, I'm going to, and it almost hits him, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and make a landing here. But before he's able to land, and Marty's like, be careful, Doc, you don't want to get struck by, and then he gets struck by lightning. And it was so awesome. You could see the tire tracks in the air go back, just like twist.
Yeah.
And then he's gone, and then that's when that little ribbon
falls down. It's burned on the other end.
Yeah.
And then it's like torrential rain.
Yeah.
This is an awesome scene, the way they shot this. Torrential rain, and there's a little moment there.
You don't know who that guy is.
Yeah. And then the Western Union guy
Western Union. He's like,
the telegraph.
Are you Marty McFly? And he's so confused because nobody would know who Marty McFly is in 1955 besides Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah? I've got something for you. And he thinks it's a gun.
Yeah.
And it's a letter. He's like, a letter? Yeah. We've had a bet
going and see if you were actually going to be real.
What is it? Because what is it? 50? Is it 50 years or something? Because from
1885 to 1955, 70
years. Okay, yeah. So he's like, we've had it for 70 years and so many months and so many days and whatever. And he's like, well, I guess I lost.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't think anybody would be here. So he gives him the letter, and that's when he reads. It's a letter from Doc. From 1885.
Yeah.
The Doc's alive! And he's like, where are you going, man? Do you need help? And he's like, there's only one man that can help me. And then this is where we kind of see a replay of Doc. And I do have to mention this to you. When Doc is hanging that line on the clock, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but you're wrong. It was a wire. The whole thing was one giant wire. Instead, because you mentioned
What's
said
the
it was
controversy.
cables.
What did you say it was, Doug?
Well, he was confused. He was like, "Where did Doc get that big wire from to hang it on the arms of the clock?" But it was the wire itself.
We're back to where Nathan has to prove that he is correct.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
So, we see Doc. You got me off there.
It shows the scene from the original Back to the Future where the lightning strikes and Doc.
Which I still got chills from watching it again.
Yeah.
So Doc is like celebrating,
and then here comes Marty. Great Scott!
He's like, I just sent you back to the future. I know, Doc, but I'm back. I'm back from the future. Great Scott! And that's when he passes out. And that's
there you go.
End of the movie. All right.
Did not know that.
So the biggest effect the picture employs is a camera system called the Vista Glide. There are 4 scenes that use the effect of the same actor interacting with him/herself. The 4 scenes that were shot were Griff and 2015 Biff in the Cafe 80s, the McFly dinner sequence in 2015, the 1955 Biff talking to 2015 Biff in the garage, and 1955 Doc talking with we didn't even mention that though, when he saw himself setting up the cables.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Yeah, we didn't even. I totally forgot about that. So he was talking to himself in 1985, Doc. In order to create the dinner sequence with Vista Glide, the camera had to be divided into thirds, and Michael had to come in with three different times to play his older self, Marty Jr., and his daughter, Marlene. This is the first film to accomplish interaction between the same actor on the screen twice as 2 different characters. If you watch closely, you'll see the 2015's Biff hand disappears during the scene in the garage, and during the scene between 1955 Doc and 1985 Doc, there's a tremble on the 1955 Doc part of the screen after giving the tool. That was a hand and an arm double when the camera starts zooming in. So that whole scene with the light pole that he's connecting the wire tool, that's where the cut was, right there.
Oh, okay.
Which was a cool scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how that was done. They created a system called Vista Glide to do all the double effects.
That's amazing when you think about it. They have to invent the methods in order to pull off the tricks.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's really cool.
They're literally laying the track in front of the train as it's coming down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's all, type it into a computer and figure out how to do it. Now they had to actually build it back then.
Well, and I think how they had to do it, like if there was a double, they actually, I think originally, of course, everything was film for, 80s and beyond, and earlier. They actually had to lay film on top of each other to be if you needed that same person to be in that same film. So that's how they created it back then. But it most of the time it never looked that great until this.
Yeah.
I thought this looked all amazing with the doubles and everything.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Say hello to my little friend. Let's not play baseball.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Pizza. Dinner thing. Chicago.
Illinois Nazis. I hate Illinois Nazis.
All right. So Doug, let's start with you for our number one quote.
Oh, man. Number one quote.
Or favorite quote, whatever you want.
Favorite quote? It probably, as a running thing through it, with Biff saying, "Manure! I hate manure!"
That's a great one, actually. Derrick, what about you? Favorite quote?
It's hard for me to get just one for this movie. There's several moments that really stick out to me. I love the one where it's before they go back to 1985 and Doc says something like, there's a little conversation there where Marty's like, what are you going to do after this? And Doc says something to the effect of, I thought I would devote my energies to another great mystery in the universe, women.
Yes. Because it's when they're still in the future and he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love the scene with Jaws. Shark still looks fake.
Yeah.
I love the scene after the punch. Hey, you just took that guy's wallet.
Yeah.
I love that. But there is one scene which we didn't talk about that I also really like, where it's on the rooftop of the casino, and Marty is about to get shot, and Biff has this one line where he says, "It's poetic justice. 2 McFlies, 1 gun."
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was a pretty great one.
That's a great scene. And then, of course, he jumps off, and then the DeLorean brings him up.
Yeah, he's just like...
He hits him with the door, hits him in the face with the door.
He's such a good goof actor.
Yeah.
Idiot. He tells him an idiot for jumping off the building.
Well, did you notice? I didn't. We didn't even. This is another part we didn't even mention. When he was in that hot tub, Biff was with those women. He was watching Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of another foreshadowing for
The third movie.
Yeah.
So that's. I thought that was cool.
Bulletproof vest.
Derek, I'm actually going to go with the same one. The 2 McFlies with one gun.
Yeah.
I thought that was really awesome. But I do like the manure one. That manure one's pretty great. Derek, what about best scene for you?
Best scene for me. I really thoroughly enjoy seeing the rock and roll scene, the Johnny B. Good scene.
Oh, when he's watching himself.
When he's watching himself
Yeah.
play, and then he's trying to play cat and mouse with the goons.
Yeah.
It's just really unique because I don't think you see that doesn't happen very much in movies where you get to go back and see a scene over again from a different perspective. At this time, the stakes are even higher somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like what I was saying earlier, is if those Biff's men mess with 55 Marty, it'll destroy everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Marty would probably disappear. The 85.
There's a lot of great scenes from this movie.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick one, but I think just the whole technical aspect of all of that.
Yeah.
Reshooting the scene over again and making it fit continuity.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
Yeah, it was great. Doug, best scene for you?
I was thinking about that just recently and we actually didn't even bring it up, but right before the tunnel scene, when Doc lowers the DeLorean in front of the Biff's car, and he sets the hoverboard out, and lets Marty catch it with a strap on his foot. That was just cool. It was like, like there's no way you could have the odds of catching that thing, but that was just cool. That whole little sequence to where he repeated from the milk crate, but now he's on a hoverboard.
Yeah, somehow he's able to catch up to Biff in a car with just the hoverboard.
Yeah.
Somehow.
He's kicking really hard.
He's kicking. I'm actually going to say I think the best scene for me is when they first go to 2015 and Marty sees the future. Like he's just like, he's like looking at everything. He's like, hold on, I need to see this. This. He's just like amazed by everything, flying cars, the Jaws 19, just everything, seeing the kids on the hoverboards, just everything. And then he sees that shop, and
he gets to experience the wonder again, except in the future.
Right.
Future.
Yeah.
He's got so much all over the 50s and the future. Well, the Western Union scene was probably one of my.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
That's
when that guy shows up at the end.
That's a top tier one for me. Going to the future, and then also that last scene. Is just shot so
well. He goes through the whole range of emotions where he's lost Doc. He thinks he's lost Doc again.
Well, and then at the end there, they recreate I know it was footage from the first one, but after he goes back, they recreate Doc being in a maze that it worked.
Yeah,
and then you see Marty running around like they recreated the fire tire tracks and everything, and
I'm back.
Favorite character, Derek? What about you?
I can tell you who my unfavorite character was. Maybe I'll start with that. In 2015, the Marty's son. He is so annoying, man. And I know that's what they're going for.
So whiny.
Yeah, he's
that
just,
voice.
Oh man,
I don't know.
he's just so cringe.
Yeah. And even Marty gets him behind the counters. Will you shut up?
But I think the one that, to me, the one that steals the show in this movie is Biff.
Yeah.
Yo.
Because you've got old Biff, young Biff, and then you've got 85 version Biff. And it's just, he's just such a good villain. Like you were saying, Doug, he's over the top. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
I mean, he plays two different. He plays so many different characters, but he plays two different versions of himself. Basically, he plays the grandson version of himself.
Yeah,
Griff. He plays his old self. He plays his and then he plays his 1955 self again.
That's what when we was reading back the reviews, somebody says remove Griff. How do you take Griff out of this movie?
That kills the whole movie.
Yeah, I think he steals the show.
Yeah, part 2 is really
it's about
Biff's
him.
journey.
Yeah.
Doug, what about favorite character for you?
Oh, I was going Biff all the way.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah, I think. I mean, Marty and Doc, of course, do such a great job in this, but yeah, Biff, he is so. You love to hate him.
Yeah.
He is so evil at times, and just such a. Yeah, you love to hate him. That's all I gotta say.
You get everything with him.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everyone. If you're enjoying this podcast, please make sure to follow on your preferred podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and we're all also available on YouTube. We really appreciate it. And if you could leave us a review, give us a 5-star rating. If you particularly enjoy an episode, feel free to share it with a friend. Don't do as Doug says. Love the show. He sabotages the show sometimes. But feel free to share it.
That's
Give us
the
your
thing is
feedback,
bad publicity, right?
Yeah, that's right. Give us your feedback, people.
All right.
Good sound bites.
Thanks. Yeah. I was looking through a lot of different sound bites. Doug, let's start with you. If you want to give your rating and your final thoughts on the movie.
My final thoughts. I don't think, to me, some people say I like 2 better, but I still, 1 has just a special place in the heart for me. I enjoyed 2, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
4?
It's good, but I don't think I like 1 better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's smooth. Derrick, what about you? Score and final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Doug. There's no way they were going to be able to top the original. I mean, in my opinion, it's
a rare occasion.
Yeah, so creative, so many characters introduced, and to be honest with you, a lot of Back to the Future Part 2 is a rehash of great sections from the first movie. So there is that. In terms of a sequel, I think this does everything a sequel needs to do. It's bigger. Mm-hmm. It's more complicated.
Yep.
It's darker. At the same time, it's a little bit zanier. Mm-hmm. They sort of just took off the rails with the jokes and hamming it up in the future.
Yeah.
And so to me, it doesn't live up to the legacy of the first one. It's not a 5 out of 5. However, it is a great sequel. Mm-hmm. It doesn't disappoint. I'll say that. You know, you see a lot of sequels and you're like, meh.
Yeah.
Because the first one is so great, it's just hard. It's it's impossible to put it in that same league. However, it is a great sequel, and it doesn't disappoint. It does everything a sequel needs to do, and it leads you into the third movie seamlessly.
Yeah.
I mean, great cliffhanger. So, with that being said, I think it's great. I love it. I mean, you're really splitting hairs here. The trilogy itself is just an amazing thing. So I give it a 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Was Back to the Future the first one to, with the sequel, to use the text screens to go ahead and advertise the next movie? Like it said, to be continued.
To be concluded, I think that's what it was.
They actually show...
And they show kind of a trailer.
A little mini trailer. It's like 60 seconds. They show scenes of the Old West. And
did they do that in theaters, I wonder?
I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah. It's definitely on the DVD.
Yeah. Well, I remember it all the way back, so that's why I was like, I wonder if they actually did that in theaters.
It seems like in my memory that was like the first time I'd ever seen that. Like they're already talking about the next movie. Let's find out what happens.
Well, and you definitely this is probably one of the few movies that literally the entire trilogy takes place. If you want to count 1985, a day, you know, a day really. The entire trilogy takes place all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended, but there. But okay, so Derek, you gave it a 4.5. All right, so we kind of talked about this before, but when I like that one reviewer or one critic, I love this movie more than the first one when I was a kid, and the older I've gotten, part one is the best one out of the trilogy. Yeah. And so, but I still love this one. I always love this one. I loved all the technology and all, all the predictions and all, like you said, all the zaniness and all the Biff was a great villain. I'm actually just going to give this a 5. I'm not saying it's as great as the first one, but it's just like, it's right up there with it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard when you're talking about something so great and to put them on the same level, but it's like, how do you pick one of your children,
Yeah.
So our combined scores, it came out to a 4.5, which is probably it's better than Rotten Tomatoes. What was it, 68%? That's way
that's way too low, in my opinion.
But we know how great Rotten Tomatoes is. They give the worst scores sometimes. All right, you guys got anything else? No?
To be continued.
Yeah. To be concluded until the next one. All right, so that's all for today's episode, folks. We hope you enjoyed our travel to the future in the world of 1989's Back to the Future 2. Join us next time on Video Rental as we tackle another classic movie. Until then, stay cinematic and remember, time traveling is just too dangerous. Better that I devote myself to study the other great mystery of the universe. Women.
Good luck on that one. It'd be easier to make a time machine.